Hey, what's going on, everyone? Astrologer Eric Rosen, and welcome to your January 2025 horoscope for your sun and rising sign. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I am going to pick what my favorite transit is of the month, which is going to be that Mars retrograde in Cancer. It's extremely rare. So we're going to talk about what that means for the collective, but also like where it shows up for your sun, where it shows up for your rising sign. It's really worth paying attention to. It's a huge monumental shift. You cannot even imagine the implications of what this means. And so I'm going to go into that today. So if you do want to go deeper though on any of these transits that are happening in 2025, how's this astrology looking? Click on those links down below for those different specials where I go deeper. And then of course, if you want to get more personal and you want to book an astrology reading, that link will be down below as well. So Mars retrograde in Cancer. So Mars is that planet that's always like, I'm going to keep pushing, I'm going to keep shoving and keep going until it can't anymore. It has to slow down, it has to recalibrate, it has to rejuvenate, regenerate. And what better sign to do that in than Cancer, where it's that sign that deals with that like mother instinctual empathy, compassion, self-care energy, where we don't want to be like this like slave driver like in our life where we just like keep pushing and going in directions that aren't actually sustainable. This is about finding sustainability like in yourself and your personal life very deeply, that's akin to you, that it's like you take off the mask, you get real with yourself, you reflect, and you go, what is really going on with my emotions? What's really going on with how I really feel about the direction that I'm taking in life? So for anyone that's like got those, career ambitions, business goals in general, this is about where you go in and you fix and nourish the roots of things that maybe haven't been tended to fully to make sure that you're going to be good for the long term, like going ahead, and you're not just like running on fumes. And so you could see this show up, yes, in your emotions. You could see it show up in really, chaotic emotional triggers of wanting to go to battle and be like Oprah, like you get an emotion and you get an emotion and there's an emotion under your seat. And it's like, it's stuff that people don't want from you, where it's like, could be coming from like a negative ego place of just like, blah, this is how I feel. I'm not like feeling good, when it's not about putting it on people that you're willing to be vulnerable with, like your family, your people in your home, just people you feel like you don't have to wear that battle armor around, but then you're still like battling because it could get really sensitive. It's more so about do you know how to take personal space for your own reflection, for your own personal responsibility of your life and the direction that you're leading, but then also you can look at like how to still be empathetic with yourself and draw in people that have empathy and compassion, not to fix it for you, but for like a sounding board and reflection to get like more clarity, like in that way. It's people that, doesn't matter if it's man or woman, they've at least got the touch of the mother instinct, the empathy, the compassion, right? They're not gonna shame you or tell you to like shut your emotions down or that you're whining or something because you're going through this deep personal change. And so the rarity of this transit, really is like making sure overall that if you're going to go to battle for something like in your life, make sure that it's about something that you're deeply connected to, that is going to lead your life forward, and not, just keep coming from conflicting parts of ego and like the way that you want it. That's maybe like kind of like being more like a baby, like crying about like what you want. This is more about what is like really at a deep emotional level, just like a certainty that you can come up with through January, but also through February too, because it'll be retrograde still then as well, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to bat for this. This is the thing that I'm willing to commit to because my emotions, I'm clear, I'm getting clarity. So the way we're gonna approach today's sun rising signs is like, where is that battle at, and where can you put down the sword and find more grace, compassion, and empathy to the approach of regenerating yourself on this deep personal level so that when it's really time to gear up for, you could say, the fight of your life, that you're approaching it in more of a graceful way in which you engage in the battle, and it doesn't have to be so like egoic, cutthroat type energy. So where is that battle at for you, Aries? Well, for Aries sun and rising, this is in your home life. This is your home, your family, your foundation, the place that you live. So pay attention to where that battle is coming through. Taurus, this for you is a battle of the mind, being able to articulate to people what you're thinking and feeling, and seeing if you can find a more softened approach with that. For Gemini, this is your second house. So this is your self-worth, money, creative situation. So it's like, is there more of a sustainable way that you can create and like make money that feels more like being a muse of sorts, you know, like while you're healing these ego parts that you don't have to push so hard. When it comes to Cancer, this is about you. You're getting a big facelift, Cancer. So whether you've been like too empathetic with others, giving too much of yourself away, or not empathetic enough, this is about sort of a rebalancing of going, okay, like how do I figure out like what is the thing that is going to be different, and how I choose that direction in which I show up as myself. What's that right amount of too much empathy and too little, and not getting too emotionally charged and going to fight because you think that that's what you have to do, when really this is more so about, it's kind of like a masculine feminine balance, Cancer. So Leos, this is your 12th house. So this is about a deep spiritual connection to God. How do you uncover holes that you had in your reality that you didn't know were there before, but now you're able to like kind of discover them on this deep emotional, energetic level? And it's going to be through this divine prayer, meditation type connection that you can have these sudden awarenesses that go, oh wow, like I see where I can approach, or I can do that better. Virgo, this is dealing with your 11th house with people. So how you engage with people is everything. Like it's about not going and slashing at people. It's not about like giving empathy to like this one group of people because you like them, but then throwing shade at this group of people because you don't like them. This is about how to go, you know what, how can I just distribute equally the grace and compassion, and not go to fight with these people, but then say these people are on my side, and treat things as more of an equality basis. Libra, this is your 10th house. So career, long-term ambitions, maybe even a sense of purpose and destiny. So this is more about how do you receive for the efforts that you've put in already, like Libra. This is not about trying to push that next goal or ambition. And even if you're not feeling satisfied with your achievements, that's okay. Take this time to reflect on the battles that were, and you know, maybe a new mountain to climb by the end of February when this Mars goes direct in Cancer, and not so much about, you know, trying to push through or fight for a skyscraper that's falling in your life that has been falling, but you're trying to like still make it like look good. You're just gonna have to let go of that long-term goal that you had if it's just not yielding its return. When it comes to, we're on Libra, Scorpio, you are dealing with beliefs on this one. This could be, you know, beliefs, travel, like where do you want to be at, like in the world, like where does your home want to be? Maybe you're like feeling like you're in a transitory state, like with the place that you live. And so I think you got to look at what beliefs do you need to kind of adopt. You know, there's almost like an adoption energy here, with it being the 9th house of foreign energy, but Cancer of like a mother. And it's like, what is the belief that you maybe need to try on, and then see if that experience shows up in your reality and you're getting abundance from that. Try it out for like a week or two, and then if it doesn't work, drop it like a hot potato, try something else. But I think you need to start trying out new ways of like really believing in like what it is that you can have if it's not helping out Scorpio. So when it comes to Sagittarius, this is your 8th house of sexy time. So, you know, intimacy, deep, intimate union energy, maybe even to like alchemize like fears into like some type of like lucrative like gain in your life, like turning fears into gains. And so this is where you can see that like maybe there's some spaces, maybe it's like in the middle that you haven't been like looking at or repressing, that you need better energetic boundaries and don't need to give so much of yourself away emotionally. And then there's other places where you need to like lower your guard and like give more of yourself emotionally, and finding out who is the safe people in your power circles to do that with, and who maybe did you like let into your power circle because you didn't have good self-care boundaries for yourself, and you need to like kind of give them a boot out, or at least a warning, you know. And so with that Mars retrograde, it's not about shoving them out, it's about like dropping hints and making sure you know who you're around. So then when it comes to Capricorns is dealing with your relationships, and also communication. So it's about softening the ways that you communicate, but then also like what the hell is going on like with your relationships, Capricorn. You have Pluto in your sign for 16 years, and so you're getting this rebooted version of yourself, and so it's all still so new, and now all of a sudden you're getting this other more minor re-identification in your relationships. And so I think it's like a seesaw that's like moving like too fast, and like maybe you just need to kind of like, you know, slow down, take a look. You know, it's like being the Coast Guard and like looking out at the sea and then seeing the people that are on the horizons with you, and just feeling into an empathetic, emotional, intuitive level, like who is going to be someone that you can lower the armor. You don't have to, you know, pick up an extra sword or something because you feel like you got to make up for lost time or something, Capricorn, you know, for feeling behind in any areas, that you're more so in a space of only so many fucks to give. So just like hang out with the people that, you know, it feels good, and the other people that you're kind of like, I'm not sure, then it's either a not yet or it's going to be a no. But don't force letting people into your life relationally just because maybe you've felt starved for connection, or you've got some, you know, wounds to soothe. So be careful, Capricorn. When it comes to Aquarius, this is your 6th house, day-to-day sustainability. So this for you is it's looking at your life and going, you know, like what have I been doing that has just been more survival mode based, and it's actually not sustainable, it's causing stress. Let me go in and calculate some things on a self-care level, both analytical, not too overly emotional, but more so like, how do you shift things in your reality, your schedule, your day-to-day life, so that you're able to feel more emotionally, and then that is actually going to create more of an optimal, efficient reality, because you understand more what you're feeling. But it's almost like you've got to make some changes on the mental level first to even like get to that, to understand that. When it comes to, let's see, we're on Pisces. Yeah, we're wrapping up already. So Pisces, this is your 5th house. So love, self-love, creativity, passion, kids, situations. This could be like some really deep reflections on like inner child stuff, the lens of your family. This could be a lot that you're going to have to process. Like, you know, your origins, like growing up as a kid, and how you experience that through the family. And like, it's like looking at your family now as an adult, but also looking at it as an adult, seeing what your inner child experienced with the family, and then being the inner child, and like, what are new ways to approach how to interact with the family, what's going on with your current family situation, how you feeling about it. You know, can you see that maybe the way that you want a family situation or home life situation to be, or a love situation that you wanted to have come in, if it's like been elusive, it's honestly more so about the surrender, where it's like the typical tale of like love, of like you get the thing that you want when you finally like stop trying so hard for it and you surrender, you know. So I think this is about using a little bit of like childlike imagination to actually, you know, open up to trusting that there are possibilities for your future to go into a different direction, that it's not about, you know, getting frustrated and overly emotional and trying to force like some change because you're not feeling like the king or queen in your life. It's like, you know, king, queen energy, fifth house energy understands that it has a connection to God, the divine, to the sun, to vitality, that eventually, you know, you're going to get that burst again. And so you don't need to like force and like actually miss the boat. Another analogy, I'm giving you extra time, Pisces, because for some reason it just, maybe it's because you've got Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node's like headed for your house. And so like literally the spotlight's going to be on you, especially by the 11th of this month, that you are in a space where you want to make sure that if God's like sending you out, like that old narrative of like, God will save me, I'm on the island, and it's like, well, I sent you a boat, I sent you a plane, you said no, God will save me. It's like, you got to make sure that you're enchanted enough still by life that you know how to like see magic like when it's happening, and that you know, follow those synchronicities and you go towards that, because that's the weird hidden part for you, Pisces. It's like, if you follow that in your intuition, you're not going to know it until you follow it. Almost like, it's like you follow it consistently for the whole month and then do your best the next month. And then it all makes sense. You're like, oh, I see why I was being asked to do these things. And thank God that I did them, because I thought that was crazy or weird to be doing this thing. But like, now I get it. I see the full 360 thing of how it helped me land here. It seemed like I was going in a circle. I wasn't getting what I wanted, but it all like makes sense in the end. So that's your sun rising sign for the month. So pay attention. Mars retrograde in Cancer. Love you all. Appreciate you all. If you're in Gina Nicole's group, would love some feedback. How are you liking the monthly videos? For those of you watching it on Facebook or YouTube, you can give feedback as well. It's totally fine. The way I'm approaching these videos is like giving you just like that most important like piece of the jigsaw puzzle, because I know life can feel like a big fucking puzzle right now, and to at least like have that to like hold on to, and then if you want to like go deeper, if you're really invested in the deep, I cannot understate this astrology is the rarest of the rare that we're heading into. Like, it's monumental. I know people talk about, oh my God, 2025, I'm hearing so many things about this and this in the world. It's like, yeah, it's the world, but it's also you personally too, like changing, and like all of a sudden be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, you know, is this like fucking George Orwell's 1984 or something out there? And like, now I got to figure out how I exist in this reality, because you feel behind the eight ball. And so upgrading your consciousness now. So it's like, whatever level you want to fall into, like budgetary wise, you just want to learn more about your sun rising sign. Those are those specials. You want to invest in a personal reading, that's always good. Then also too, a lot of people have been enjoying like the 2-session approach that I do, where it's like, I do the astrology reading for you. You know, obviously it's natal chart, yeah, of course, but it's also your transits, right? It's like gearing you up through all this, but then also doing something like either like some channeling work through the Akashic Records or the Arcturians to help with more guidance, or hypnosis, a healing session that's shamanic based, like something to help like upload all that information that comes through with astrology, with the reading. And then the next step would be for people that are like, I cannot imagine my life going anything less than the best direction possible, and you know that you need a fucking wizard on your fucking court to like help you. That's where the 3 or 6 month coaching packages that I do, where it's like it's coaching, but it's metaphysical as fuck, and we're activating you so that you can free yourself from that emotional jail of fear and pursue true desire, your passion, your love of life. Because at the end of the day, that's going to be the thing that leads people to fruition, is like just radical authenticity of like what your passion is, because the handrail is dissipated. There's nothing to hang on to anymore. We can believe that, you know, we can believe all day long everything's going to be okay, but the truth is that, I won't even talk about 2026 or 2025, we're going through a radical shift, and that those words don't do it justice. Like, there's no seatbelts for this. You just have to, it's like sink or swim, but in the cosmos. You know, you have to know how to manifest and create your own reality now, because that's the bonus of what people talk about with New Earth. It's like all this old stuff ending, but then it's not like some silver platter thing, like, the fucking stimulus check from the universe or something for, doing shadow work the past few years. It's more so about, do you actually know, as those borders, boundaries, shackles of this old reality end, do you know how to like channel the divine and create your own reality? So that's where I come in with people that are unsure about that or need help with that, to help you connect to your own divine connection so that you know what direction to go in. For me, it's never, ever fucking telling people like what to think. It's about helping them find the uniqueness of how they think and view the lens of reality. And that's how the readings always are too. It's always, it's a language that's you. It's your language. It's because it's your soul's chart. So, and also too, because of Saturn, Neptune going to 0 degrees of Aries next year, in 2026, that brings up what's called Draconic astrology, which is really about your soul's original blueprint too. So we can take a look at that in the readings as well, like how everyone's getting a chance to become more of a aligned soul expression of themselves in this physical reality of what is expressed through our natal chart and through our experiences, and close that gap. And that's where you become that like magical person that's like co-creating with the laws of the universe and the divine. So love you all. Catch you for with the next horoscope whenever that is.